Welcome to ZAZ, Zero Agenda Zone. No scripts, no filters, no pretending we have it all figured out. Every Thursday, I'm going to have some real conversations, some bold questions, and opinions that don't really come pre approved. Hey, real moments, zero perfection here. Let's figure it out together and enjoy the process. Subscribe now, click like or dislike. Doesn't really matter. Any feedback is good feedback because the best conversations doesn't follow the agenda. Let's get into it. Yeah, so you know what I need, man? I need me a big flashy commercial after that. Some
Yeah,
lights, cameras, action.
yeah, hell yeah.
Anyway, man, so truly my third guest. I'm gonna drop a new guest on Thursday. Every Thursday, guys. Welcome to ZAZ, Zero Agenda Zone. Let's just start with that, leading that. But yeah, every Thursday I'm gonna try, drop something new. And I throw a little teaser on Instagram, what's coming up next. That's gonna be the game plan. But hey, I got Mike in the house. Mike is a very dear friend of mine. I met him when I met his whole family actually, when I first moved to Connecticut from Oregon. Kind of just skipping around all over the state here. I chase a dollar. But anyway, we're very close. One of my besties. I got him online. Just like anything, all of my guests, it's like all uh, nothing's premeditated. Just all on the phone and say, hey, let's jump on this call. And that's where we at. So Mike, welcome to ZAZ. This is something new, man. We're gonna create together. Definitely you'll be another guest. And once I fine tune it and, get all big as I want to be, I have it all dialed in a little bit more. But anyway, hey, man, just drop into it, man. Mike, whatever you want to share, man, kind of
Oh,
throw your profession out there, how we met, whatever it is, man. You know,
you know me, Tony. I'm an open book, but just to start from what you said, for those listening, Tony and I came from like pretty much two different worlds, and we connected here in Connecticut, and from there, we sparked into a family that we just didn't know each other before this. So, I consider Tony family. Things that I love about Tony is, he's not afraid to say what's on his mind, but also like he came here, connected with my family, and you'll hear him when we're together, like Uncle Tony to my kids, and they'll call him Uncle Tony, and it's the truth. We might not see each other as often as we did before. Now that he's in Texas, but we connect often, and I appreciate that he has my back, and I know if I never ever needed anything, Tony'd be there, and I hope he feels the same about me. I know he does.
yeah,
So
absolutely.
it's been a cool ride, right? We're from two different paths, and we connected and ended up close, and here we are. And Tony, I'll share whatever you want me to. If you let me go, I'll just talk a little
Oh
bit,
man,
but I don't want to
we can ramble all day, man.
steal, steal
That's
the
the whole
thunder.
point, man. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. And also, even though we come from different spots, but we share similarities on a lot of things, man. We both, we love motorcycles and love riding those. That's one thing that we connected on. Big family value, which is really good. I said before, this is gonna be crazy, but Connecticut is like the South without the Confederacy. No, I ain't worried about someone running around with Dixie flag, but that whole Southern um, atmosphere and hospitality and families staying around families in Connecticut. That's what I did notice, close to 5 years I was there. So yeah, we are a family. What we do have to touch into, I think was a pretty interesting conversation, explaining like our neighborhood. So we lived in a community, one way in, one way out. And Mike's place was the first house, and you kind of go around a circle, and mine was the third, fourth house from the last going out. But his number was just 9, and mine was 7. We formed Club 9, and it became a super popular place, Club 9. And because when you come inside the neighborhood, you see Mike's house, and we all hanging out. We had set the garage up like a club, man. Well, I don't know if it was a club, more so like a bar,
Yeah,
you know?
hell yeah. Hey, there were people, as you know, trying to get in there, and they weren't getting in.
Yeah, we
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 got
were
we got everyone here like this was
yeah,
the shit. This was the place.
I know, man. Club 9 was the shit. I mean, actually, I'm gonna tell you how popular Club 9 is. The whole neighborhood knew who Club 9 was. And, only a select few people was invited, and also we rejected a few memberships and
That's
shit
what you
a
did.
along the way. We had one character that was in the neighborhood named Chet, and I'll let you touch base with Chet
Yeah.
when you first moved in.
Yeah,
You gotta
that's
explain the story how you
a
first
good
met him
one.
when you was gonna move in the neighborhood.
So if Tony mentioned our complex here was one way in, one way out. And the way it was set up was all along the outside were townhouses with garages. Uh Basically a condominium, but they're apartment rentals. And then in the middle were typical rentals where, multi-story stairs going up and, multi-units in there. So when we sold our house, we sold our house in 2018, and we're driving around looking for a place to live. And this was kind of cool because it's really downtown Glastonbury and convenient to everything. And we pull in here and we're like, yeah, we like that place, and it's half built. And then we see this guy stumbling around, by the clubhouse
Hammered.
and hammered, and he starts like, letting us in the clubhouse and talking. And we weren't thinking much of it, and kind of whatever. This guy's drunk, and we knew it. And uh, checked the place out, and then we ended up securing a place in here. And he was still here, the same drunk guy. He was hiding like booze in the bushes, and going around and getting drunk, getting DUIs and whatever. But
Yeah.
he was
It's
funny, he was harmless, he wasn't going to hurt anyone, but it was sort of like a Melrose Place sort of place here. We had a little bit of everything.
Yeah, the irony of the Melrose place is, the street across so we lived in one Glastonbury, and the street perpendicular to us is Melrose, Court or Melrose something. It's
Melrose,
Melrose. It
yeah.
wasn't Melrose Place, but it was
Melrose
Melrose.
Street, I think, or I
Yeah,
wanna know.
Melrose Street. So
Yeah,
it was like a lot of drama there, man.
yeah,
We can go on. I don't know if we
yeah,
filter. We had a few bimbos that went to the pool, and you know
yeah,
it was pretty interesting too. It's
yeah. Well, when we first got here, Tony, before you, it was like,
like parties there,
described
right?
as a MTV, party house, like, in the back, like, music, booze, you're not supposed to have booze back, and it was, like,
Yeah,
rocking.
glass
Um,
containers.
yeah, glass containers, and, the little day beds they were zipped up, and who knows what was going
Right,
on
right.
behind those
The
those
cabanas.
spots.
Yeah. The cabanas
It
was still in
was
this place too, man.
it was a
Yeah.
lot of fun.
And by the way, just to give you context, is of any of this, these places not cheap. These places are running for like, 4 to 5,000 a month, and this is in the center of the city of Glastonbury,
Yeah.
Connecticut, which is a very sleepy town. So it wasn't about the ghetto-ness. It wasn't about the trashiness. It was just about just the personalities, man. We just had a lot of personalities there. We had this I don't know, it depends who tune in. I got an open podcast, so maybe I just protect the innocent. But
Hey,
we had some really strange things. We had one person that just got other guests drunk in the house even though they didn't drink, and who knows what went on in that
yeah,
situation.
how I don't know how deep you wanna get, Tony, but, like,
Hey, hey man,
we
zero enough in this
hey,
camp, man.
listen, we had drinkers, we had lookers, the country song that, talks about, everything going on in the bar, but, that's
Yeah.
what it was. But it was I don't wanna say it was clean fun, it was harmless
It was
fun.
harmless, yeah.
There were no troublemakers here,
No
we had
criminals, no criminals, that's
no
for sure.
fighting, no, that kinda stuff.
Nah,
So,
nah.
listen,
Working people, man, just,
work, yes,
we
just wanna
just
have a good time. And, yeah, it worked, for me. I know it worked for you. It's still
definitely
working for me because 'cause I'm still here. Um, we're again, the place is very convenient, for anything you wanna do. And, I think the pool stuff has tamed down a little, it's gotten quieter. Um,
okay.
but it's still, it's nice to go out there and chill out and have a cocktail or 2
Yeah,
and
as long as Rachel's not there.
get a little sun. There's a handful that, that, that were definitely, not bad to socialize with and things like that. We had a good crew over here. Um, but yeah, so we're I'm still here, we're trying to find a house, but the market's not great here, and but
Yeah,
it's
well,
not a bad place to be.
so like what 3 or 4 million people in Connecticut altogether anyway, so
Right.
not a big state. So
Yep.
especially when you start talking about the city, the town actually is it's a very small town. And the market is low inventory, like 5 or 6 houses may pop up, and three
Correct.
of them you don't even want,
Yeah.
and two of them are completely priced out. They go
Price up.
on
Yep.
bidding wars and everything. But anyway, I'm gonna give you I'm gonna share a little bit about Mike's story, kind of teed into this thing, but like I said, Mike's a big family guy, and his 2 sons, his daughter are like my nieces and nephews, and they know if they don't share something with me, I'm pretty upset. So they immediately be like, "Oh, I got to call Uncle Tony and let him know." Um, all of them doing super well. Two of them about to be married within the next year or two, which
Yep.
is, congratulations, Mike.
Thank you.
And his youngest son, I think he's going to be. Oh, by the way, he's the third.
Mike
Mike
the
the
third.
third, exactly. And I think he's gonna be a playboy for life. I don't see him. I think he'd be more like he'd probably get married at the same time when what's my man name? I can't think of his name now. The actor. He got married like 40 some years old. Uh, shit, I drew a blank. He played on Ocean 11.
Well, George Clooney.
George Clooney. Yeah, he's gonna be a George Clooney. That's exactly. He's gonna be another George Clooney. You get married in his 40s.
Oh, yeah, and well, Tony, as you know, in college, he's graduating in May, but,
Yeah.
he was a big, frat boy and, was a pledge master and sort of on the executive board of
Right.
his frat, and he enjoyed it the years that he was doing it. He's sort of on the outskirts of it now, ready to graduate. He's set, but, Michael likes to have a good time, but
There's nothing wrong with that, but smart
He's
too.
a he's a smart kid, and I mean, God blessed me with 3 wonderful kids that are, again, we as a family, we go out to dinner all the time. We're very close, I feel very blessed and fortunate to have that,
Absolutely, man. They
you know
healthy, happy,
Yep,
and successful,
yep,
which is perfect. I say all the time, man, I drop money into kids. That's really the only true thing you're gonna see a value of your return. Investments going here and there, but whatever you put into your family, you actually get to see that return. I mean, they may try to be a shithead, but at least, you say, okay, well, I did my best.
yeah,
They what they are. So you've been
yeah,
blessed, man.
yeah,
Also, Mike, career law enforcement, he's, you know, definitely if you want to talk about pillar of the community, I haven't ran into anyone. Everyone knows this guy. You would never think he was in law enforcement because he's very relatable with people. Especially when we see the tension that we are now with the black and white and fuck police and defunding police and all this other stuff. If it was going to have a poster child, this would be the guy. You know, um, he just really just kind of believe in just people. And I think he shared a story one time before he went in law enforcement. His family had a business, family business based on, word of mouth and people. And that's where he went into that whole work environment, law enforcement, the same way, customer service, the people are my customers. And that's where he went. Not only that, I'm going to throw you out there, Mike. Mike did 20 plus years law enforcement, went into a law enforcement private sector thing, left there and went back into law enforcement. So, it's in his blood, even though he says it's not in his blood. And so I'm gonna do my due diligence to get him out of that shit and go to the
yeah.
private sector and just ride this check on out. That's all
That's
I
it.
plan. That's what I plan on doing.
Tony, I'm just gonna jump on that real quick too, and
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm gonna throw it out there. So like Tony has a little bit of a background too in law enforcement too, so he can relate. And you know, although we met later in life, I think we really connected with the people end of things. Tony's a little sometimes better with just saying what's on his mind, where maybe I would hold things in a little bit. Just back to the law enforcement thing, and whoever's listening, I'm just going to throw a plug out for law enforcement because of my career. Tony, you said it. I just never, I got hired at 29. I had a little more life experience. I had working, like you said, with my dad and our family business, and I really, not that I had to try, because I just sort of had, I understood about customer service. Was taught that from my dad, and I know the customer is not always right. Like that's kind of a farce. But if you have that mentality that the customer is always right, and you apply that to life in general, or especially then beyond in law enforcement, um, you treat people the way you want to be treated. I mean, I've gotten in knockout, drag out fights. I've been in things like that. But when it's over, it's over. It's not, these guys that are taking it beyond that and maybe, going a little too far, or, taking that stuff home, that just, it doesn't, it's all business. Even the bad guy's got business to do. It's his business, whatever. It's nothing personal. But I've had a phenomenal career. I think that it is a little bit different now in law enforcement, but still a great field. If anyone's considering it, I think try it. We need good cops out there. We need cops that have that that customer service slash just a good person, treat people the want to be treated. Um, we need that mentality out there. We there's lots of improvement. I'm not going to lie, but again, the way I look at it is, um, I I I had a phenomenal career. I'm very lucky. I came out pretty unscathed, and I loved it. But you're right, Tony. I retired once, went somewhere else, and now I'm back at it. A little bit different because I'm in a more of a management side of the field, but yeah, I agree. I'm eventually want to get to the point where
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know
we'll
we're
do it.
uh, we're doing some yeah, you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, we're doing some business together.
Yeah,
Also the key thing too as well, and it's funny because I struggle with especially in the black community. I identify myself back. I'm a black male. Um, is when the bad outshowers the good, right? So in a day, I mean, I live in Sienna Plantation. The name itself explains it. So we have our own police annex, fire department, Sarasota golf courses. Several pools, a lot of police presence, and the crime rate is very, very, very low. So why would I want to defund the police and not have police presence and all? I mean, it's kind of like a ridiculous thing to say, but the other thing that's been happening, especially social media, anything we go live, anything get viral, but everyone, every white cop, it's not a racist. Every black cop is not protecting the white cop. We make this black and white issue, um, minority issue, uh, non-minority. It's the world we in, I think we need to just be comfortable to be uncomfortable. It's okay to say white and black. It's okay to say girl and boy. It's okay to do all these different things. It's okay to have different opinions. And one thing my father said a long time ago is, you don't have to respect me. Just don't disrespect. That makes a lot of sense. You don't have to respect me for whatever I do, my career or what I'm saying. Just don't disrespect me, and I won't disrespect you, and we have no problem. And that's the kind of way I go into these things. And like you said, I'm very open with things, real life topics, whether that's race, whether that's politics. I'm not going to get diving deep into that shit here, but, um, I take people for face value and everyone's prejudiced about something, but being prejudiced don't make me racist. I'm prejudiced about a whole lot of shit. I don't like unicorns. So, hey, fuck it. You know, that don't mean I'm racist towards them. I mean, they can make out a little black unicorn, can make out with a little white unicorn, and I just, I just don't want to fucking marry my unicorn. That's
right.
all.
I don't. I think unicorn there's a double meaning there too, isn't there?
Yeah, exactly. You know what I'm saying? It's just that's it, man. But we're so afraid to say this shit, man. It's just we hide behind it because it take offense or all this other stuff. But hey, in the day, I tell folks, man, this is my podcast. I say what the hell I want to say, and
You know what,
tune
Tony?
out.
This is awesome. Even to come out with this, just and what you're saying is, you know, let's talk about whatever,
Yeah, dude. I
and
mean,
there's no pressure, no whatever. Just
that's it,
and
man.
and I enjoy that, and even if someone has something to say that wants to be debated, I know you're the type of guy that you'll be like, hey, hey,
Hey, let's
just
go at
don't,
it.
like you said, don't
Yeah,
just be respectful.
Be respectful, man. I got respect, just don't be disrespectful.
Yeah,
That's the end of the day.
that's a great statement right there.
Yeah. And the reason why I say I keep it 20, 30 minutes because I always get off this podcast, or I always only did 3 or 4 when I'm an expert now. But anyway, I get off of it and I'm like, damn, we should talk about that. Damn, we should talk about that. And what I do is I just drop me a few little notes and like, you pop on like after 2 or 3 more guests. Hey, I got Mike back on here. And then I'm like, hey, you know what? We should talk about this or we should talk about that. And we go from there, man. But I appreciate you popping on here. It's
Yeah.
always good, have some material, have some people that we know each other. It's a good connect. And I fine tune it, and it's only gonna get better, man. This is entertainment purposes only, guys. My opinion don't mean shit, you know. Probably yours don't either to me sometimes. But hey, subscribe. Give me a like, dislike. I like any kind of feedback. Like I said, this is really for the guys. This is for Mike or for JD I had on here, or I'm about to drop Ken on here the next couple of days. It's probably just look back here and just, we have some good conversations, some candid conversations, and we enjoy ourselves. And that's it. It's nothing more, nothing less. Check out the YouTube. You go to the Instagram, it's got a YouTube link as well. I'm going to try to find how I can throw little plugs and stuff on this thing too as well. You can just kind of click into it and get this information. But hey, Mike, stay on the line. I'm going to drop the video. So, you and I chalk it up. Hey, guys, once again, subscribe. Give me a thumbs up and enjoy until next time. Stay tuned. Thank you for listening.